something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Last class we were just talking about that isomerism. Yes, isomerism. Iso relates to something else, no? Something same, something different. I just mentioned, no? In that way, iso means here isomerism means in organic chemistry isomerism. Same molecular formula, different physical and chemical properties. That is only I should tell. So that is the same molecular formula, different structural formula. That is also will be coming. That comes underneath these 2 points are there. So in that way we can speak. But the general point of what is isomerism? Isomerism means it is like what it is, same molecular formula but different physical and chemical properties. That is the main point of isomerism. So what are the types of isomerism? Structural isomerism and stereoisomerism. And just now I told structural isomerism, same molecular formula, different structural formula. So that is called what it is, structural isomerism. Stereoisomerism means same molecular formula, but the position of the atom. Like last class also, I just explained to that. Yeah, one second. Yeah, pen option it is there. Let me. Yeah. Suppose, for example, atom A, it is connected with B, C, D. The same way, one more same molecular formula only, say A, and it is B, and it is connected with what it is, D and C. Now, do you find any difference in these two molecules? Am I audible to you all?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you find any difference in these two?
No, only the positions of C and D have interchanged.
Exactly. The atoms of the position is changing, like atom of the position, one is here, the one is this side. Actually, it has to be that side, but here. So stereoisomerism is nothing, same molecular formula, but different position of the atom. So that is called stereoisomerism. Next year, you will learn about that stereoisomerism. This year only, what do you mean by stereoisomerism? That is only you will learn. So that's what they have given a very few points about that. And stereoisomerism also divided into two portions. That is a geometrical isomerism, optical isomerism. So optical isomerism means what it is. Like for example, whatever it is there in the mirror image, we will say, so like that it will be. And geometrical means, I think you might have chemical bonding in that geometrical shapes and all you might have learned. So that is the point we will learn about that next year only, not this year. So just you should know about what is stereoisomerism and what are the types of stereoisomerism. That's more than enough. But when we come here, structural isomerism, what do you mean by structural isomerism? Same molecular formula, different structural formula. So how can we identify the different structural formula? I'm coming to that point. Before that, coming to that point of structural isomerism examples, and there are 4 types of structural isomerisms are there. That is a chain isomerism, position isomerism, functional group isomerisms, metamerisms. So as you were coming to that point, chain isomerism means like CH3, CH2, like that it will go on. So in that way, there will be some difference. So that might be saying about it. So that is a chain isomerism. Position means maybe the position may be changing, but same molecular formula only. Position may be changing according to like this way. Then functional isomerism, the same way. Functional group already you have learned 8 or 9 functional groups you have gone through that. So that is a functional isomerism. And the last one, metamerism, that we are going to learn. It's a new idea about that we are going to learn. So these 4 points we are going to learn. For this purpose, I will show this PPT only. For a reaction mechanism, I will show in that whiteboard. Okay, I think this is a very easiest point. So I will show in that PPT only. Hope you will understand this one. So first one, structural isomerism in that chain isomerism. So what do you mean by chain isomerism? When 2 or more compounds have similar molecular formula but different carbon skeleton. So what do you mean by carbon skeleton? Just a carbon attached with that. Along with that CH3, CH2, you can ask, ma'am, why CH3, CH2? As I was talking about, carbon has 4 valency. So that means CH3. Here CH3 will be there. One hydrogen you just remove, then you are adding. These CH2. So each one will have like that only. So in that way, this is a pentane. Like a carbon, 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 like that. It is a catenation formula. That okay. Now in this is a formula of pentane. Now how it is varying the what it is a chain isomerism, we are coming to know. These are referred to as chain isomers, and that phenomenon is known as chain isomer. For example, C5H12 they have given. So what is it C5H12? That is nothing. It is a general formula of pentane, ANE formula. It is an alkane group, saturated compound. Okay, sp3 hybridization. So whenever we are looking that formula, so we will follow all these things, so you can come to know during examinations time. Suppose if they are asking also, that will be helpful. Okay, now come to this point. So C5H12, whether this formula in this all those things are available, we can see. Now carbon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, carbon 5 it is present. And then 12 hydrogen, 3, 6, 7, no, okay, 12 it is there. Is it 12 hydrogens are there available? Can you tell me, students, count it?
Yes.
Yes. Afternoon time, that too, it is so cold enough, and cover yourself, listen during class time. Okay. Now, next one.
Ma'am, 12 hydrogens are there, ma'am.
Yes, ma, 12 hydrogen. Very good. Thank you for your answering point, ma. Very good. Okay, now 12 hydrogens are there. Now this formula, it is correct for this. So this is a chain isomer, point 1. Now, how can we write it in a different way? Now we are coming to that. Isopentane, I just mentioned long back. Iso means what? Only one carbon chain, it will be hanging. Anywhere, whether this side or this side or this side, anywhere one methyl group hanging means that is called iso. You can close your eyes and say it is iso. Whatever it is their formula, you can mention. Whether now, for example, I will write it C4H10. This is a butane. Okay, now butane in that CH3, CH2, CH2, 1, 2, 3, 4, CH3. Is it C4H10 is available, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now, another, this is a chain isomerism as it is 1. Now, isopentane it is there. Now, here, instead of 1 hydrogen, I just removed 1 hydrogen. In that CH3, I have written. So, what is the name of this? What is the name of this? Can you get my point, students?
Isobutane, ma'am.
Exactly, ma. Isobutane. Then you can ask one down. Ma'am, here one methyl group comes down. No, ma'am. That means, yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this thing, it will, this point only we bring it here. Isobutane. 1, 2, 3, 4. So isobutane. So 4 carbons means iso is the initial word, and 1, 2, 3, 4 complete together you have to mention. Ma'am, we can say one more word also. No, ma'am. What it is? 1, 2, 3. So that means a second group methyl group. From here also 1, 2, 3. So that means in this side also second group carbon methyl group it is hanging. Ma'am, the 2 methyl propane we can say, ma'am. Yes, you can say in that way also. But when it comes iso, all the number of carbons you should add. That is a very, very important point. So whenever you are coming for iso, please remember how many carbons are there all together, not only long chain, even the side chain also you have to check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pentane it is there, isopentane. Or when you're coming some other way, isobutane it is there, isohexane it will be there. So that means how many carbons are there all together, that you have to mention. Iso means it is a secondary. That is one more point. You please learn it. And whenever you are writing iso, please remember all the number of carbons you should add. Okay. Now another one more way you can say it is a 2 methyl 2 methyl already you have written. 1 methyl group you have taken. That means how many are there? It is a butane. So 2 methyl butane. In this way also you can write it. In this way also you can write it. Or else, ma'am, one more you can give. No, ma'am. So in that, yeah, just 1 minute. Let me. Yeah, neopentane. So neopentane in this way, is it visible to you all students?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Neopentane means what it is. So all the 4 hands of carbon, it is attached with something alkyl group or aryl group. So that is called neo. Neo means a tertiary. That is a common word. So in this way, carbon, it is attached with 4 groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So one carbon is attached with 4 alkyl group. That is a carbon group. It is attached. So in that way, this is a neopentane. Okay, now that is over. Another one more word I will tell. 2,2-dimethyl propane. How can we say for this? Now just 1, 2, 3. You just put it in a right to left or from left to right. You just put it. So what happened when you are doing that means? So here 2. So here also 1 methyl group. Here also 1 methyl group. So 2 times 2, 2 dimethyl propane. Like that. Now that means, ma'am, already we added this. No need to mention. So if already added means 2 methyl group. It is there. 2 plus 3, 5. So pentane 5 carbon, it is available. So whenever you are giving name, you just mention which name you are giving, whether you are giving a tertiary or secondary point you are giving, or else giving IUPAC name. So this is a IUPAC name. 2,2-dimethyl propane, it is a IUPAC name. 2-methyl butane, it is a IUPAC name. So in this way, now come to this point, I'm giving a name of the compound as well as chain isomerism. What do you mean that? So same molecular formula, different structural formula. See, same 5 carbons.
Ma'am, your voice is kind of breaking, ma'am. I don't know if it's only for me.
Oh God, my network
It's clear for us. I mean, to me, it was clear.
Yeah, my network, by God's grace, it is quite good only, I feel. Maybe due to this weather, maybe little quiet. Okay, I will go. Now, can you hear my voice?
I think it's on my end, ma'am. I'll fix it.
Okay,
No problem.
Okay, now come to this point. Same molecular formula only. Carbon, it is 5. Hydrogen, it is 12. Same molecular formula only. This is a common molecular formula. Now, suppose if they are giving C5H12, write the molecular formula means you can write it this one or this one or this one. Anything, any one you can use. So this is a long chain formula. This is iso. That means a secondary pentane also we can say. And then this is a tertiary pentane. This is one more name. Secondary means iso. Tertiary means neopentane. So that is also you can use, or else you can write 2-methyl butane, 2,2-dimethyl propane. So I'm coming to the point. What do you mean by chain isomerism? Chain isomerism is nothing. Same molecular formula, different structural formula. That is the way you can proceed with that. So that is called chain isomerism. Hope you're clear with this point, students. Shall we go to the next point?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Next one, position isomerism. As you were talking about that chain isomerism, position isomerism, functional isomerism, the last one metamerism. Okay, now we are going for the position isomerism. So what do you mean by position? Position means somewhere here and there, somewhere it has a difference. A position. So in this, 2 or more compounds differ in the position of substituent group. Remember that substituent group, substituent atom or a functional group on the carbon skeleton. I think you might have come to know what are the functional groups, what are the substituent group. You have got to that once. I have written on the board. Functional groups means it is a suffix, secondary point. It is a suffix. You will get no primary suffix, secondary suffix. You have learnt no root word, suffix, primary suffix, secondary suffix, and then prefix. You have learnt no. Do you remember that point? Last week I have given this.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Good. So in that way, suffix means suffix in the secondary point we have learned the functional group. And where is the substituent group comes? Substituent groups means a prefix. So suppose amino group, it is a suffix. Halogen compound, it is a suffix we mentioned. And then nitro group, it is a suffix. So what is the difference between suffix and prefix and suffix? Means prefix, the name of the substituent group, we will say the name first and then following the compound. For example, nitrobenzene, what it is, methane, nitropentane, like that we can say. Suppose OH group, it is attached over there. OH group means it belongs to functional group. So that means CH3OH, that means a phenol, methyl alcohol. OH, it is an alcoholic group. So methyl group CH3 along with that OH. So we are writing in that way. So please remember what are the substituent group, what are the functional group. If you know this point, you are able to do this one. Okay, now when two or more compounds differ in the position of the substituent atom or functional group on the carbon skeleton, they are called position isomers, and this phenomenon is not position isomers. Okay, now I'm taking the formula of C3H8O. So see, one thing I'll tell you, in that nowadays case-based question comes now. In that case-based question, how they will give, suppose this is a compound of propane 1-all, it is a formula, and it is reacting with sodium hydroxide or whatever reaction takes place, and it gives some such kind of product it is giving. You just imagine CH3, CH2, CH2OH plus NaOH. I just put it in this so that I can write it and show you. So in this, NaOH reacting. So what is the product? This hydrogen and this OH group, it will join. So what happened? Not hydrogen. Yeah, let me clear this. Eraser. Sorry for that. See, hydrogen, it will remove. This two hydrogen, it will remove. For that, some reaction, it will. Hydrogen will be removed, it will go away. Now, whichever it is remaining, CH3, CH2, CH2, 1, 2, O, Na. So, sodium propanate. What is this name? Sodium propanate.
Sodium propionate.
Yeah, you no need to by heart only. Only thing you should know this concept, the hydrogen which is relieving, this NaO which is going to join. See, I didn't do anything, just a CH3, whatever it may be. Now, how many carbons are there? In case-based question, how they will give, just I'm asking. In the C3H8O plus NaOH, what is the compound A? They will ask. So what is it C3H8O? You should know. What is it CH3CH2 CH2OH? You can mention it is propane 1-all, or you can mention CH3 CHOH CH3. You can mention this also. But in that way, which will react with sodium hydroxide, you should come to know whether propane 2-all react with the sodium hydroxide or propane 1-all react with sodium hydroxide. Now, in that way, propane 2-all reacts with the sodium hydroxide. It releases water. But propane 1-all reacts with the sodium hydroxide. It releases hydrogen. So if you know this concept, compound A, it is like sodium propanate. Suppose in the sodium hydroxide, it is coming, means what is the answer? Now hydrogen, water, I just removed. So this water, In this water, I just removed. Now what is remaining? CH3, CH2, CH2, ONA. See, that means what is the name of this? So what is the difference between these two and these two? Can you get my point, students?
Yes, ma'am.
See, in this 2O, it is that sodium propionate you are telling. But here what you are telling, CH3, CH2, CH2, only O. So only O means what it is? Ether. Actually, this and all you will learn for the reaction part only. Reaction at present you are not having. But why I am telling all this, you should know these are the 2 points are totally it will be vary. Maybe propane 1 all, propane 2 all, don't think both are same. It is totally different. See, this one reacts with sodium hydroxide compound A. It is a sodium propanate, which is a ester compound. The same way propane 2 all reacts with the sodium hydroxide. It is giving a ether, which is called it as a sodium propionic ester. So this is a name ester. Sorry, ether. It is a ether and this is a ester. So both it will be vary. But in that case-based question, how they will give? They will give only this formula. Sodium hydroxide. It gives sodium propionate. So that means which formula you will select? 0.1 formula or 0.2 formula you will select? Can you get my point, students, what I'm telling?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, actually, I'm not confusing you. I'm just giving an idea about for the suppose reaction comes means what will be the product, and I'm helping you. Suppose the reaction comes means position of the isomerism, or whether it will be same or different. See, these both are same molecular formula but different chemical properties. How come it will be different chemical properties? If this one sodium hydroxide, it is common. The same way propane 1 all react with sodium hydroxide, it is giving a different compound. The same way propane 2 all reacts with sodium hydroxide, it is giving a different compound. This both are not at all same, something different. So that difference I'm saying, for that only I brought this. What it as example. So what do you mean that the position isomerism? See, in this, I just remove that so that you will come. See, in this CH3, CH2, CH2OH, 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons are there. Propane. This is the first carbon. In that OH group, it is the alcoholic group, propane 1 all. In that CH3, CH2, CHOH, OH, CH3. So this is a second carbon OH group it is available. So in that it is what it is a 2 all. In that second position alcoholic group it is there. So in that 2. Okay. Now position 1 it is propane 1 all. Position 2 it is propane 2 all. See, both are same molecular formula but different what it is. A position of the functional group it is changing. So position of the functional group changing means naturally substituent group also may be there or functional group also may be there. So that is the example of position isomerism. Got it? In that third point, functional group isomerism. What do you mean by functional group isomerism? If you are clear with this position isomerism, we can go to functional isomerism. This also a little bit same, similar that only, but don't get confused with that. That's what I want to make sure about that position isomerism. Position isomerism is in that in the first position alcoholic group it is there. In that second position alcoholic group it is there. So this is the example of position isomerism. Is that clear, students? Shall we go to the next point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what is functional isomerism? 2 or more compounds having the same molecular formula but different functional groups are called what it is, functional isomerism, the same word which is producing from here, what it is, structural isomerism. Same molecular formula, but different structural formula. Here position isomerism, same molecular formula, but different position of that. See, here first group, here first position, here second position. Now functional group also, which functional group it is attached. Now we are going for that point. I think this one, yeah. See, now C3H6O I have written. So C3H6O, CH3, C double bond O CH3. That means 3 carbon it is there, 6 hydrogen is there, 1 O is there. Yes, this formula it is correct for, it is equal. And one more formula. It is CH3, CH2, CHO. See, I just put it that see in this. CH3, CO, CH3. So this is called acetone. Acetone. And CH3, CH2, CHO. This is ethanaldehyde. Aldehyde. Common name. This is ethanaldehyde. This is acetone. Acetone, I think you know. No, this is a keto group. Keto group. And this is aldehyde group. This is a aldehyde group. Aldehyde group. So what is this one? Acetone, I mean keto group and aldehyde group both are like twins, they will say. So here in this C3H6O, in this also it is cooperating the same molecular formula, but here also see that the CO group also functional group, CHO also functional group. CO group it is what it is, keto group, and CHO group it is what it is, aldehyde group. That's what they they mentioned about what it is, same molecular formula, but different functional group it is attached. So that is called what it is, functional group isomerism. Hope you're clear with this, students. What do you mean by functional group isomerism? Functional group isomerism means same molecular formula C3H8, but here reacting, here one it is a keto group, one it is a aldehyde group. Aldehyde group it is a CHO. Just you can ask, ma'am, directly they should have put it to CHO. No, ma'am. Why did they put it here CH2 and here one hydrogen? That means a CH3 and one more carbon it is there. Here that means a C double bond O. Always oxygen comes means oxygen is having a double bond. So in this 2 carbon, in that electrons, and here 2 electrons. So that means carbon it is having 6 electrons are there. 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So oxygen is having 8 electrons. Even carbon also 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is also attached with it. So that is what it has mentioned. They should have mentioned here only. 1, 2, 3, 4 hydrogen. They should have mentioned here only. CHO they should have mentioned here only. No problem. But here see 2, 3. 4, 5. This hydrogen is and this carbon is having 5. Did you check it? Did you check that and that point, students, yes, whether the formula is correct? Is that formula correct? I think afternoon you people are. Yeah, students, am I audible to you all? Hello, wake up, get up
yes,
from there.
ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Now I'm asking that question, is this formula correct? CH3.
No, ma'am.
No, the 3 hydrogen, one bond, it is a 4. This is satisfied. Now this carbon, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that means this carbon is having 5. Nobody listens. Nobody point out, man, this carbon is having 5. How is it possible? Actually, this hydrogen should come here. So that means here if it comes means CHO, that means this is hydrogen 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means here also oxygen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here also it will be there. So whatever you are writing the formula, that you have to find out the valency. It has to be correct. I mean, today also I asked one question. It is SP through SP2 or SP3. In that, if you go through means, you will come to know that valency electrons, so that you can identify whether it is SP2 or SP3. I think I'm second question or third question, ma, SP2, SP3. Today revision test point.
SP2.
Come on, tell me, which is the answer exactly?
Ma'am, was it SP2?
No, what I'm asking that today revision test you all have written, no? In that second question, I think so, number of SP2, SP3 like that it has come. For platinum and what it is, PCl5, like such kind of questions I asked, no? Second question, I think so. Am I correct? I forgot the question.
Yes, ma'am, there was a question like that.
Yeah, today morning you were written, I think so. That actually, that is a easy one. You can identify very easily. How you know? If you know to write according to the Lewis concept of electronic configuration, if you write it in that, like outermost orbital, how many electrons are remaining in that way, if you write means, definitely easily you can identify whether it is SP2 or SP3 or SP, like you easily you can identify. Now for that only I'm just telling all this. So in that way, carbon is having valency 4. In that 5 hydrogen, it is, I mean, 5 points are available. So this is actually not correct. This hydrogen should come here actually. That is what I'm telling. Okay, now come to this point. Now in this functional isomerism, it is nothing, same molecular formula, different functional group in the same position. So that is called functional isomerism. The last one, metamerism. What do you mean by metamerism? It arises due to the different alkyl chains on either side of the functional groups in the molecule. So that is actually methoxypropane and ethoxypropane. So what is the difference between these two? Let us go for that point. So in this, say, arises due to the different alkyl chain. So what is the different alkyl chain? CH3OC3H7. So in that CH3O, CH2, CH2, CH3. Am I correct, students, for this point? Is it a C 4H10? C4H10, it is correct. Now, in this CH2, yeah, CH3O, CH2, CH3. Is it correct? Is it correct, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, C2, here C2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means hydrogen here, hydrogen 5 plus 5. So that means here 5, here 5. So this is ethoxyethane. So that means ethyl ether. Only one oxygen means it is a ether group. Ether group. So here what it is? Methoxypropane. So C3. So that means 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons means it is a propane. 2 carbons means it is a ethane. Just to remember, same molecular formula only, what it is, a C4H10 only. But you see the different, see, they have given one formula, CH3OC3H7. That is the way also you can write it. Or else, see, for you, for your convenience, I have just split it in that way. CH3O, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is a propane. 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons means propane. So methoxypropane. One way you can write it. Or else, here 2 carbons are available. Here also 2 carbons are available. In that way, diethyl ether also you can write it. Or else, what it is, ethoxyethane. Why, ma'am? Oxygen compound has come. No, so that is what just to mention about. This is IUPAC name. Ether, what is that? iopectin, oxy it will come. So whenever oxygen comes in the middle, only one oxygen comes means that is a ether. 2 oxygen comes means that is a ester. Remember that, okay? So this is a functional group of same molecular formula, but different position of the functional groups. That is the way we can say. So there are 4 points just now. Chain isomerism we have seen. What it is. Next one. I just go to that. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now in this chain isomerism you have known, then position isomerism just now we have gone through, functional isomerism, and the last one metamerism. Metamerism is nothing different alkyl group only, not a position of what it is a functional group. It is a position of alkyl group only different. Here propane it is there, here ethane it is there. So that is a different alkyl group. Propane means 3 carbon will be there. What it is ethyl means 2 carbons are available. So in that way metamerism. Okay, now just now I was telling about that stereoisomerism. Stereoisomerism is nothing. It is actually easy to identify what it is. A different position of the atoms which is adjoining with the central atom. So that is stereoisomerism. In that geometrical shape of isomerism you will learn, and then what it is. The next one, what it is. Stereoisomerism. Yeah, mirror image isomerism. Optical isomerism. Optical isomerism is nothing. What do you mean by optics? In physics you will learn, no. Ophthalmology, what it relates? Yes, students. It represents the mirror image position. That is what they are mentioning about. Okay, so stereoisomerism is not much important. Just you remember that point. That's more than enough. Now, next one. In this is very, very important point we are going to learn. Fundamental concept of organic mechanism. Before I would like to go for that fundamental mechanism of organic reaction mechanism, just I would like to ask you a question. What are the points you have gone through that? What do you mean by chain isomerism? Can you give me the answer? Can you give me the answer of chain isomerism? Yes, students, are you all listening?
Yes, ma'am. When
Yes, ma'am.
2 or more compounds usually have the same molecular formula, ma'am, but they have different carbon skeleton, they are known as chain isomers.
Very good. So these are the examples of chain isomers. Please remember same molecular formula but different what it is structural formula. In that way also we can see different structural formula also. So you can identify that position isomerism. In that position isomerism, 2 things are available. Substituent carbon, that means a substituent group. Substituent group, what are the substituent group? Nitro group is there, amino group is there, ether group is there. So like such kind of things are there. So that is a position isomerism. And a functional group means it is a suffix, a secondary suffix of functional groups, alcoholic group, keto group, aldehyde group. Like there are so many points are there. So you please remember in which position it is there. So whenever you are looking the formula, you just write and check. See, now carbon 3 means just to put it carbon 3 carbons. In that way, you just allot each carbon is having 4 valency. That means in that way you just allot that formula in that where you can identify that functional group or where you can identify the substituent group. In that way you can see these points and all, you know, you cannot by heart. Even if you by heart also you will forget. Only thing you can understand that point. That is a very, very important. That's what I'm going on repeating these points. See these points and all I never even by heart or just keeping in mind. Just I will look at that book or whatever it is. Just I'll understand. I will write it on the board or here. That's all. Okay, just you understand that point. Now this is a position of that functional group. It is what it is. propane and propanol. ONE, that is a propanone. It is a IUPAC name of propanone. It is a acetone, and propanol is it is a acetaldehyde. This hydrogen should come here. Remember that. Don't write that same point and getting wrong answer. And then the metamerism is nothing. Different alkyl group. It is attached over there. So please take down the hints so that it will be easy for you. Okay, now fundamental concept of organic reaction. So in that fundamental, or it is a very important in this year. Actually, they have given only the mechanism how it is reacting. But every point next year only it will be very helpful. All these basic ideas only they have given the ideas. They did not give any of the exemplar questions or examples. They didn't even ask anything. Just they have given a mechanism how it will react. That's all. In that next year they have given a full chapter only how the reaction of mechanism taking place there. All this chapter for the next year, it will be very useful in the organic chemistry. So please go through thoroughly, listen carefully when I'm telling. So just for that, I will take you to the whiteboard. Okay. I will clear this. Okay. Now organic reaction mechanism. So organic reaction mechanism. When we talk about the reaction only, A plus B gives C plus D will be there. Without this point, that actually reaction word will not be complete, I think. So forever they will say A plus B gives C plus D. That is the product. A plus B is the reactant. Like that they will introduce. Okay, I'm coming to that point. Now I'm giving organic compound. I'm taking any of the organic compound. So long we have seen any of the organic compound, you just take it. In that one reagent will be there. So I just take the point of reagent. Reagent. It gives unstable. Okay, instead of that unstable, I can put it intermediate. Intermediate product plus main product. So instead of going A plus B gives C plus D the product. So instead of that, we are going in a different way, but that is also says the same. We just take the organic compound and we are adding one reagent. Why do we add the reagent? Organic compound, it is a very slow. Very slow means it will not react only, it will be quiet enough. Even if it falls on a hand also, nothing will happen. Remember, if it is fall, suppose some medicines or some syrup, it falls on your hand, means what will happen? Do you feel any itching or do you feel any something burning sensation? Any other kind of thing you are facing the problem when any medicines falls on your hand? No, not at all. See, organic compound, it is such kind of organic. It is not at all strong and it is not harmful at all. It is all the organic compounds are useful for us. For that, ma'am, organic compound, organic chemistry comes means when we go to the lab so that we can touch and see. No, please don't touch. Then you will get that what it is, allergy or something. That is another one more point. Say, okay, now come to this point, organic compound. When it will react, ma'am. So when you add some reagent, what is the reagent? That reagent should go and attack the organic compound. So when the reagent goes and attacking that organic compound, then only the reaction starts. So what is the product you will get? Always first compound, it will be the intermediate product. So what do you mean by intermediate product? It will be unstable. It will be unstable. After this unstable, giving some more reagent, because of that this unstable, if we again this, it will go on reacting. That means it is unstable. In that place, this reagent also will be there. that means the product it is there. No, so that means these both will be combined together only. You are getting the product. So in that reagent part also will be there. So reagent always it will provoke that unstable product. So it will go on activated. Then you will get a finally product. So that means it is a slow, like you have to go on, give the key for that, then only you will get a product. Otherwise it will be unstable and the reaction will not go completely. Always the reaction will be half of that. Now I'm coming to the point of what it is. Organic compound. I'm just giving organic compound. It is a substrate. And reagent, it is attacking the point of substrate. What do you mean by substrate? Substrate is nothing. Substrate represents the organic compound. What do you mean by reagent? Reagent is attacking the organic compound. So that means what do you mean by substrate? Substrate it is attacking by the reagent. So please remember, they may ask in choose the correct answer. What do you mean by substrate? So substrate it is attacking by the reagent. That means the reaction it is getting started because of the reagent. So reagent only is the main cause of reaction. Okay, now these 2 points. So third point, what it is? Intermediate product, it is unstable, and finally you are receiving the product. So this is an organic reaction. So from this, what are the points we are just to go through that? What are the points we are receiving? Just point 1 in this electron displacement reaction takes place. Can you get my point, students? So first and foremost, electron reaction. So electron displacement or electron movement, both are same only. So electron displacement, it will take place. Now, second point, energetics. Energetics during bond cleavage. Bond cleavage, and the third point, it is a bond formation. Bond formation. So these are the 3 points when the organic reaction takes place. These are the 3 points you will get it. So we are going to learn this type only. We are telling it is an organic mechanism. So what is it? Organic mechanism. In that organic mechanism, we are learning the electron displacement. That means the electron movements. Maybe compound A, compound B, it is there. So these both. Maybe the electron goes this side or the maybe electron goes this side. So that displacement we are going to learn. And then energetics during bond cleavage. What do you mean by cleavage? It's a breaking. So energetics during bond cleavage, whether the bond it is breaking. When it is breaking, what will happen? So the energy which is produced at that point, we are going to notice it. Bond formation, whether maybe a double bond it is there, for that due to that bond cleavage may be breaking and you may get only one bond. Maybe only one bond it is there due to that bond cleavage, even that bond also gone over. So in that way, these are the 3 points we are going to learn during the organic reaction, how the reaction mechanism takes place. If you know the mechanism of the organic reaction, you can do number of reaction on your own and you will write that formula without go through that your book only, you can write on your own. So only thing what you have to do, you should understand how you have learned to understand that UPAC name, like all those. If you know the rules, you are able to identify the name of the compound like that. If you know these rules, how the reaction takes place, you will write on your own. So these points only we are going to learn. In this point, they have given a word fission. What do you mean by fission? Can anybody tell what do you mean by fission? Fission word, it is
Breaking.
exactly. Fission, it is the name of the breaking. So when it is breaking, where it is breaking, how it is breaking under, we are going to see in this. Just I will bring out the same point. So during fission reaction, that means electron displacement reaction takes place. During that organic reaction, bond breaking, that means bond cleavage takes place, and new bond formation. New bond may be forming, or old bond it may be breaking. So these are the points. General way we have told it is a fission. Hope you got this point. Okay, now we are going to see that what are the fission reactions. So as you said, it is a breaking of that bond. So in that there are two types are there. So in that two types, homolytic and heterolytic. Homolytic and heterolytic. There are two types. As you were coming to know about homolytic and heterolytic only, you will come to know what it is meant for. So homolytic means maybe the same atom group provided, or else here heterolytic means maybe different atoms combined. Now for example, homolytic means Cl2. Heterolytic means H2O. So such kind of point you can bring out in this fission reaction mechanism. Okay, now just to go through that homolytic. And one more thing, students, if it is time, please let me know. As I used to take the classes now, I may forget the timings. Please let me know if it is at the exact time. Yeah, okay. Now always, now all are looking at the time. I know very well. Okay, come to this point. Because organic mechanism is such kind of thing, but it is interesting only. Okay, now come to this point. During homolytic cleavage, what is happening? Now, for example, this one I'm taking. During homolytic cleavage of the covalent bond, each atom or group attached to the bond gets one electron shared pair. Now, I'm taking point A. Atom A. So these both are same atoms. That means it is the same kind of atoms. Now it is breaking. When it is breaking the homolytic cleavage. Homolytic cleavage. So what happens? From here, the electron displaced and gives here. The same way, this electron breaks and gives to this respective atoms. So this electron now, for example, chlorine, it is there means 7 electrons are there. Here also 7 electrons are there. 2 electrons. Yeah. Now, in this one belongs to this category. In this, it belongs to this category. So these both are joining. So due to that formation, that means fission reaction, it is a breaking. So what happens due to this? It is becoming, oh, sorry, I just written here. No problem. A plus A and then respective electrons are sitting over there. The same way Cl1 and here also Cl1. So why I have written in this means now in this actually this both have joined. So due to that fission, that is a homolytic fission, it started breaking. When it is break, what happens? It goes to the respective home. So when it goes to the respective home, it will become a free radical. Free radical. Free radical takes place. So we say it is a free radical only. Free radical ion we used to tell. So that means how many electrons are there? The same parent electrons only available, nothing. Only thing what we can say Cl minus because it's a free radical, because it's get on their own electron. It is not joining because of the bond cleavage. Now what will happen, ma'am? This is an activated radical. This is an activated radical. Now what happened? Suppose methyl group is waiting or ethyl group is waiting or any other alkyl group or aryl group is waiting. So it will go and join. So that is what this is, an activated ion. See now, activated ion means what it is? It ready to join with other compound, other alkyl group or aryl group. So that means this is a compound, Cl2. It is a compound. Due to that, what it is, a fission, that means organic reaction breaking that bond, and it gets the respective ions on their own. So that will become a free radical. What is that free radical? It is ready to join with any other alkyl group or aryl group. See, in that, suppose alkyl group CH3, so CH3 Cl. So it will join. So the Cl, one electron it is there now, it will go and sit over there. Anyway, methyl group, one electron it is. So these both will get the bond formation. Right? Now, in this way, homolytic means it is the same identical atoms adjoining. So that is called homolytic. Now, heterolytic means what it is. Let me finish. What do you mean by heterolytic? Yeah. This is what the problem when it is go to on board. Okay, heterolytic means what is the difference between this heterolytic? Heterolytic means like A, one electron will be there. Now the same B, one electron will be there. So hetero means it is different, I've told no. So that means the same reaction only takes place. Suppose this is a bond and due to that fission, it's breaking. So it goes to that electron. So that means A also will get one electron, B also will get one electron. So what is the example you can provide here? So that means here, this also will become free radical only. Only thing, what is the difference? It is a heterolytic. Different atoms may be reacting. Different atoms may be the joining. Now, for example, CH3Br. In this, suppose here one electron it is there, here one electron. So here it is going and here it is going. CH3, one free radical and Br, one free radical. So this also activated, this also will activate it. Now it may go to CH3O, it is there again CH3. It may go and join with this formula, or else this one, it may go to join in CH3 or C2H5. C2H5, like that it may go and join. So whenever that fission reaction takes place, means there are two types of reactions are there, that is a homolytic and heterolytic. Homolytic means identical atoms breaking point, it is called homolytic. Heterolytic means there will be a different point it is breaking, means that is a heterolytic. Now I'm giving an idea about what it is homolytic, what it is heterolytic. Yeah, it's a time, I know I just give that point of this homolytic and heterolytic. Yeah, so homolytic means the main thing, I'll give one or 2 points. Remember that homolytic cleavage, here I am just bringing that point to you. See, homolytic means the same identical atom. So that means this is a polar or non-polar. Can you tell me? Polar, non-polar, already you have learnt in chemical bonding. Please answer to the point. If it is an identical point means, identical atoms joining means, is it a polar or non-polar? Students?
Ma'am, non-polar.
Exactly, Mon, non-polar only. So, in that homolytic cleavage time, only non-polar compound can observe. So, homolytic reaction, only you can observe only the non-polar molecules. So, here it is a non-polar molecules means in homolytic. What about the heterolytic? What about a heterolytic? Polar compounds. Okay, so polar compounds will be there present in the heterolytic compound, and homolytic compound, it is a what it is a non-polar compound. Next, one more point, I just give that example with that what it is homolytic and heterolytic, so that it will be, I will finish that point. in this homolytic point, what are that? Just CH3. I just put it not CH3. Yeah. Okay, carbon attached with 4 valency. In that 4 valency, just I am writing CH3, CH3, CH3. So that means in this here actually plus radical, that means same group only, carbon, carbon, carbon attached with the same group, same identical group, identical atoms will be available. So I'm giving the examples of methyl group. So this is actually a methyl group only, CH4, it's a methane. 1 hydrogen gone means a CH3. In that 3 hydrogen also gone means in that removal of 1 hydrogen, 1 CH3 group only it is. So here also 1 hydrogen removing and CH3. Here also 1 hydrogen removing. So this has become a bulky group comparatively CH3. Do you think it is more strong or more weak? Students? Yeah, just let me know. It's time for, I know very well, just let me know that CH3, I just removed all the hydrogen. Instead of hydrogen, I just hang it over CH3, CH3, CH3. Now, do you think which is more stable? CH3, it is at a carbon, it is attached with the bulky group of 3 alkyl. Or carbon, it is attached with 3 hydrogen. This is a methyl. Do you think which is more stable? What it is? This point of carbon, which is attached with the 3 bulky groups, it is more stable. Or carbon, it is attached with the 3 hydrogen, it is more stable.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen, it is more stable. Okay, I'm giving one small information for you. See, this is only the sigma bond. Sigma bond, and moreover, it is hydrogen. Suppose I am giving any of that, or for example, NaOH also, I just give. Now, what happened this NaOH? It will go and attack any side of the hydrogen. So, any side of the hydrogen, it will go and it will join with hydrogen. It will become a water molecule. So, in this place, CH2, NH2, it will be, Na, it will join. CH2, Na, it will join, plus H2O, it will be remaining out. Now, in that, the same NaOH, if it is going means, this is a bulky group. Unless and until you just remove these 3 hydrogen, then only it will go and attack the main central atom. So there are group of bulky groups are there. See, suppose anybody is coming and attacking you. See, only one person means you are alone means easily they will attack. So many, like for example, 5 or 6 members going together means everyone will take us something or the other and you will hit that person. So such kind of manner. So these are all bulky group. Now the same point I just bringing in a skeleton structure so that it will be easy for you to understand. Now carbon, this is C. In this 3 hydrogens are there. In this carbon, in this 3 hydrogens are there. In this carbon, it is having 3 hydrogens are there. So this is a plus compound. Now in this hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Now you say which is having more bulk here. So this is a central atom. So you want to attack the central atom. Do you think it will be easy for you to attack the central atom? Students, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Can you tell me the answer? Which is easier? This one to break the atom, this bond, it is easier. Do you think this one it is easier? Because this is a bulky group. Bulky group, always you have to give more strength. Even if you give more strength also, it's not easy to break the bond. You cannot go and join with this easily. Okay, but this one, it is very easy. So homolytic, what they are telling, last point what they are giving, actually homolytic points are stability varies, free radicals depends upon the bond dissociation energy. So we are talking about the stability point. Stability means more stable or less stable. In that way, stability of various free radicals. Free radicals on the bond dissociation. Energy. What they are telling, just to note down, students, because in what it is options they may ask. So stability of free radical is inversely proportional to stability of free radical. Free radical is inversely proportional to bond dissociation energy. Energy. So this is a main point for the homolytic cleavage of the what it is? Homolytic cleavage of the reaction. So what is that main point? Stability of the free radical, that is inversely proportional to bond dissociation energy. What is a bond dissociation energy? Bond dissociation energy is nothing, just a removal of the bond, just a removing of the bond. So which is easier? So actually bond dissociation of energy, it is actually a stability of free radical. How much of free radicals are available? Now which is a free radical in that way? Carbon attached with the 3 hydrogen or carbon attached with the 3 methyl group, which is free radical. Carbon attached with the 3 hydrogen group, it is easy to break than carbon attached with the bulky group. So that is the reason they just mention about this formula. So whenever they are getting this point, carbon, instead of that carbon, I just write like this way so that it will be easy for you that. So it is a carbon attached with R3 carbon as greater than R2 carbon as greater than carbon CH3 CH2, it is greater than, and only methyl group. So carbon which is attached with the 3 methyl group, that R3 is nothing, alkyl or aryl group which is attached. That's what I just mentioned, R3. So that means a bulky group always a strong stability than the methyl group. Methyl group easily it will get attacked and easily it will form the compound. But you cannot break this because it is a bulkier group which is attached to all the 3 points. That means there are so much of supported persons are there, so it is not easy to attack this carbon. Hope you are clear with this homolytic. Next class we will meet its time. I know people are waiting for that, and if I